your other projects. So it is it's a deliberate decision by yourself, isn't it? To be very honest, but to sell everything. I mean, there is an argument that, you've sued newspapers, you've complained about certain things, but you're quick off the mark if they overstep the mark. And yet other people would say, well, do you have any right to privacy, given the amount of times you invade your own privacy? What do you think about that debate about privacy?
I think when you've got paparazzi hanging over your fence and stuff, and, your kids might want to run outside naked or in the garden, which they're entitled to, or, I might just want to run down to the studio with Pete in my underwear or something. You shouldn't have people with their cameras. No, I think that's wrong. Or zooming right into your house. Well, why would you do that? They wouldn't do it to someone else who wasn't in the public eye. So no, I do think that's rude. But
you were going to actually put your birth online.
Oh, I said it, and I would never have done that. That's the most tackiest thing ever. I know I've done a lot of tacky things, but that, and believe me, any woman in here who's had a baby, they know the werewolf noises and that you make. You wouldn't want anyone to see. So
we won't have to look forward to that moment then? You won't be going online with your next birth?
No, I'm not a Kerry Katona, no. I'm only telling the truth.
Despite muddying the waters wherever you can, there's one thing we can be absolutely certain about with you, Katie, and that's your life is anything but normal.
Once upon a time, a sweet young girl from Brighton achieved fame and fortune as a real force of nature. Her name was Jordan, and everybody wanted a piece of her.
All people knew of Kate was ditzy bird going out every week, getting absolutely lashed, falling out of clubs at all hours.
Bizarrely, this party-loving sex bomb became a modern role model.
I know a lot of girls my age really look up to Kate.
You get girls that want to be the glamour model, but then you get young girls that want to be the princess of Katie.
It was at some stages that she would do an interview for a men's magazine as Jordan, and then the next day she would do something for Mother Care as Katie Price.
Jordan, or Katie, has played out every aspect of her extraordinary life in public. Her boozing, her love affairs, her health scares. Nothing's been off limits, and it's all paid off handsomely.
My young sister Katie has brought out autobiographies.
She's got swimwear, sunglasses,
lingerie, perfume.
Her and Pete have got a fantastic TV show out.
Bed linen range, she's got an equestrian range.
Pram's coming out next year.
I think she's got makeup coming out, hasn't she?
It just goes on.
Like me, 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 my empire, isn't it?
Then there's a TV presenting.
You're drunk?
No.
Horse riding and singing. Quite a few talents for a so-called ditzy blonde who some would say has no talent. This princess has even met the Queen.
I just think she just enjoys going into different areas because no one ever thought she would. It's always been, oh, God, what's she going to do next?
What do you think of your public image? Because, I mean, oddly, you're quite a role model now. I don't mean oddly in a negative way, but I suppose I'm surprised to see quite how many young women in particular look up to you as a genuine role model.
Well, when I read the magazines, I would look at that and think, oh, my God, this woman's nuts. She's, like, obsessed with surgery. She's, like, her weight's up, down. She's arguing with her husband, her poor kids, da-da. That's how I'd look at it.
Who are your role models?
Never had one. If anyone, I'd look up to my mum.
Really?
But still rebelled against her.
But never anybody else?
It doesn't matter who's famous, who's this, that. It does not bother me. It does not bother me in the slightest. If you say to me, who would you like to meet? There's no one. Honestly, on my wall, in my bedroom, I had pictures of horses. John Whittaker on Milton, there you go. His horse. That was it. I was just horses, horses, horses. That was all I was into.
So you've never based your career path or anything on somebody else?
No, but interestingly, I had this discussion with Pete. He said he always knew when he was younger he'd be like a pop star. And I always knew at school, and I used to say to people, I am going to be famous, I'm going to be a pop star or a model. And I always said it. And I always knew I wouldn't have a normal job. It's really weird. And I haven't got a normal job.
What made you want to be a model?
I'm an exhibitionist, always have been. I remember at my dad's 30th, I think it was, I was 13. And my mum gave me some money to get an outfit, and she probably thought it'd be a nice little outfit, and it was just an all PVC all in one. And the looks on their faces. And then,
Do you think your mum should have been doing this kind of thing? I mean, was your mum pushing you a bit hard here, do you think?
No, she was
I don't mean to
fine.
be unkind to her, but you think she was a bit?
It'd probably be my nan, because she was a topless mermaid.
What?
She was a topless mermaid.
Your grandmother was a topless mermaid?
People used to pay money to look through a telescope, and she got the sack for smoking in it. So it's probably for my nan. If it's good enough for my nan, it's good enough for me. But no, my mum hasn't influenced anything. What, you want about my job, like the topless stuff?
Well, I just wondered how much of what was going on was your mum pushing you?
That's one thing I could say about my mum and dad is that I call him Paul, but I regard him as my dad. They're not the kind of parents who would push you if you don't want to do something. So no, they definitely haven't pushed me. It's all, you know, with all three of us, she hasn't tried to push us all to do anything.
One of your first modelling jobs was when you were invited by a jeans company to do some pictures for them, and the photographer was a bit strange and began asking you to do some sort of lacy underwear stuff, and it later turned out that he was, in fact, a paedophile.
No, he was. Muggins here, who didn't know that then, paid for this course when my mum did. He was the photographer on it, and, you know, I felt really comfy with him. And then he said, oh, I've got other jobs for you. So, and he was friendly with my mum. He just looked so legit with everything. And then he said, oh, I'll take some pictures of you at my house. He never let my mum stay. I mean, I'm trying to think how old I was. About 13, maybe? Can't remember.
I mean, do you think your mum should have left you with him?
It was in his mum and dad's house. He'd done the pictures. You just wouldn't think...
But does your mum now regret that?
Well, no, because she didn't know what kind of pictures he was going to take, and neither did I. And he was with another lady as well, which made it feel more... But then when my mum left, he used to do pictures of me, like in a bikini, sticking my tongue out at the camera. And then another time, he... wanted to put a shirt on me. This is when the woman was there. And they said, we want to put it on you, but we want you naked. You know, when you're that young, you think, oh, I'll do anything just to be a model.
And he was later convicted?
Yeah. He had 11 different names, 11 different bank accounts. I knew him as Keys Quant.
How did you feel when you knew the truth?
I always thought he was a bit weirdo anyway, so... and when I was young then, I mean, worse things happened to me when I was younger than that.
Worse things?
In a park. But yeah. But I don't know, you just...
Well, what are you talking about? What happened?
I've never really... Oh, nothing.
Well, go on.
No. Oh, my God, what's the matter with me? Next question.
There's obviously something very traumatic. What happened to you in the park?
Nothing. Compose. Hang on. It's all right. I'm strong. Compose. Just some weirdo. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's just some weirdo in a park.
Who abused you in some way? And you've never talked about this?
Mm-mm. Whew. And I'm not going to talk about it either.
I'm shocked because I didn't think about this, so this is not something I thought would come out.
Well, it's never affected me, but obviously it must have done for me to just feel like that. But I just... Yeah, I don't know, you just learn to get on with things, didn't you?
I mean, did these kind of early things with whatever happened, and I'm not going to pursue this, I can see it's upsetting to you, but...
No, I don't know why. It's not... I haven't got a problem normally with it, so I don't know why I did have a problem, but anyway.
Have you ever spoken to anybody about it? No. Did these incidents, that the photographer and so on, did they have a lasting effect, do you think?
I know what you're going to say.
What?
I would say the same thing. I bet I can read your mind. Sometimes I think the job I did, the Jordan, is to tease at men. Is that why I've done the job? Because it's... I know what I'm trying to say. Is it a thing now? I can prick tease the men, but they can't have me. Is that what you're trying to say?
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe it is that. I don't know.
I mean, do you like men?
Oh, I love my man.
Oh.